Was that too much? It's time to ring in the new year. I'm Dzung Lewis, and today we're gonna cook 5 recipes that are the perfect side dishes for our New Year's Eve celebration, all in the microwave. This is every side dish. I love cooking fingerling potatoes in the microwave. It's a great way to get tender, delicious potatoes in just under 12 minutes. And the dip we're making is this yuzu kosho mayo, which is really easy to make and adds a nice bright contrast to the crispy potatoes. And of course, since it's New Year's Eve, we're gonna add just a touch of salmon roe here because New Year's deserves caviar, but we're not about to break the bank in this party. We also don't need many ingredients in this dish. We have 10 ounces of fingerling potatoes, some salt as needed, ½ cup of mayonnaise, 4 teaspoons of yuzu kosho. You can usually find this at a well-stocked Asian grocery store, and a small jar of salmon roe added to taste. To prep this, I'm gonna place my potatoes into the medium shallow any day dish, and we're just gonna give it a quick rinse and drain it. Don't worry about any excess water in there. It'll actually help steam the potatoes. But now I'm just gonna salt our potatoes, cover it up with the lid, making sure that the any day knob is lifted. And we're just gonna pop this into the microwave for 8 to 9 minutes until the potatoes are fork tender. So while our potatoes are cooking, I'm gonna make our dipping sauce. Here I have the mayo, and I'm just gonna add in our yuzu kosho. Yuzu kosho is citrusy, it's a little tiny bit spicy, so just make sure you adjust accordingly, but it's fully delicious and pairs so well with potatoes. I love it. Just mix it all together, and we're just gonna let it hang out and let the flavors meld while our potatoes finish cooking. Let's grab them out of the microwave. Hot. Let me just make sure that it's fork tender. Ooh, perfect. So I'm gonna show you how to present this so that it's easy to serve at a party. And then I'm just gonna add a dollop of our yuzu kosho mayo right on top. And then with our salmon roe, and then just push it off of your fork in a line so that it falls naturally on each potato. And these are fingerling potatoes with yuzu kosho mayo and salmon roe because we're fancy. This is a filling side dish that can help you kick off the celebration. Cheers. Shrimp cocktail is a classic, and it's one of those items that's so easy to serve at a party. Also, cooking shrimp in the microwave is a breeze because you'll spend more time making the cocktail sauce than cooking the shrimp itself. And before you at me in the comments, cooking shrimp, or seafood for that matter, in the microwave is one of the best ways to cook it and won't compromise the quality. So for this recipe, we're gonna need 1 pound of raw shrimp that's been shelled and deveined, 2 teaspoons of lemon zest, about a whole lemon here, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then for the sauce, you're gonna need 1 cup of chili sauce or ketchup, 1 teaspoon of salt, 4 teaspoons of horseradish, 2 wedges of lemon, and a dash of Tabasco. We're gonna start by cooking our shrimp, and it's super de-duper easy. All you have to do is add our raw shrimp into any day large shallow dish. We're gonna season it with a little sprinkle of salt, our lemon zest, give it a mix. Now I'm just gonna cover it with the lid, making sure that the any day knob is lifted. Then I'm gonna pop this in the microwave for 2 to 3 minutes, or just until the shrimp is pink and fully cooked, but we wanna make sure that it's not being overcooked. And while our shrimp is cooking, I'm just gonna prepare our sauce. Here I have the ketchup, and I'm just gonna add our salt. And then to give it a nice kick, I like adding the horseradish. If you don't like it too spicy, feel free to adjust accordingly. And this is also optional if you don't like spice, but I do, so I'm gonna add a dash of Tabasco. Then our squeeze of lemon to brighten everything up. Give it a nice mix. Let all the flavors come together. Our shrimp is done. Ooh, perfectly pink and beautifully cooked. Now, I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit before I add it to the ice bath to completely chill. This recipe can also be made ahead of time, and you can store the shrimp like this in your any day and keep it in the fridge until you're ready to serve. So now that our shrimp has completely cooled and chilled, I'm gonna plate it up for a party. We have a large plate here, and I'm just gonna use the same bowl that I mixed the sauce in as a centerpiece, and then take the shrimp. So you can hang it on the side like this to make it easy to grab and fill in the circle with more shrimp. Or you can just add the shrimp inside the circle with the tail out so that guests can easily grab it. I'll place the wedge right inside the cocktail sauce, and there we have our shrimp cocktail. The shrimp is succulent and the sauce is nice and spicy with so much flavor. But best of all, cooking shrimp in the microwave is just as good as poaching or steaming it, so try this recipe. Now we're gonna make some baked brie with bacon onion jam. I love putting a few small things that go great on some fancy crackers or bread for my dinner party. For your spread, you can add on some cured meats, cheese, dried fruits to really round it all out. For the bacon onion jam ingredients, we're gonna need 4 strips of thick cut bacon that's already been diced, 1 cup of diced yellow or red onion, 1 teaspoon of whole grain mustard, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. I know that sounds weird, but trust me, I'll tell you why we need it in a second. And finally, 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. I'm just gonna add our onion, bacon, whole grain mustard, brown sugar, and baking soda into our any day dish. Now, the baking soda is gonna help the onions caramelize in the microwave and really create that beautiful brownness and depth of flavor that you would normally get by sauteing it on the stove. Just give it a quick mix. And for this recipe, I'm actually gonna leave it uncovered because the heat's gonna help the fat render from the bacon. And we're gonna pop it in for 6 to 7 minutes or until the jam achieves a golden brown color. Okay, this bacon is so crispy and smells so delicious, but we're gonna make it even better and brighten it all up with the acidity from the balsamic vinegar. Just pour it in, give it a good stir. Now I'm gonna serve this inside another bowl with the baked brie, but if you wanna make this ahead of time, you can always transfer it into an airtight container and store it for up to 10 days. I'm gonna move our bacon onion jam to the side, and then we're gonna make our baked brie with just a wheel of brie. It's so simple. All you really have to do is take an 8-ounce wheel of brie and then score the top in a grid-like pattern and just like going diagonal like this against the lines so it can melt evenly. And once you've scored it, just take your any day medium shallow dish, place the brie inside, and we're gonna heat it up covered. And we're gonna place it in the microwave for 1 minute to 1.5 minutes until it's nice and melty. So while the brie is cooking, I have my platter and I'm just gonna set it up with the bacon onion jam and some crackers. And I've also got some nuts and some dried fruits. Our brie will go right here. And once our brie is done, just go ahead and take it out of the microwave and let it rest for about 10 to 15 seconds. Just gently, with a spatula or a small spatula, transfer it to the platter. And this is our baked brie with bacon onion jam and other accoutrements. Finally, we have warm marinated olives, and it can't get any easier than this. These warm marinated olives are a perfect pairing to a night of cocktails, champagne, where you can whip them up in no time right when the guests start to arrive. This recipe infuses the olives with orange peel, garlic, spices to create a citrusy and aromatic appetizer. For this recipe, we're just gonna need 3 cups of oil-packed olive with pits, 4 strips of orange peel, 3/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, 4 cloves of garlic, 3/4 teaspoons of coriander seeds or fennel seeds, 1.5 bay leaf, and 1/2 teaspoon of chili flakes. So to make this, we just combine everything into this any day dish. I'll start with my olives, our orange peel and bay leaves, 4 cloves of garlic, our coriander seeds, chili flakes, and olive oil. and just cover our dish, making sure that the knob is lifted. Now I'm gonna cook it in the microwave for 2 to 3 minutes and stir every 30 seconds interval until the mixture is aromatic and starts to bubble slightly. So the olives finished cooking in the microwave, but I'm gonna let them sit in the any day medium deep dish for about 30 to 45 minutes to fully absorb all of the aromatics. Ooh, you really get that waft of the orange peel with the citrusy notes, and it smells delicious. And that's how you make warm marinated olives in the microwave. And that's it. Those were side dishes that are all great as past apps for your New Year's Eve. Check out cookanyday.com for exact cooking times for your microwave, and while you're there, check out other inspirations for your next meal.